Do you do these meetings a lot?
Too often. But
So did you got confirmation from the others?
we got confirmation from Shirley, from Blake, from Cole. No, I don't have confirmation from is Joni. Oh, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Welcome.
I have a virtual background call, so it's hard to see me waving my hand. I don't know why that works that way, but
Yay. Yeah, something about the I don't actually know the answer. Stuff about pixelation and how much you can intake and stuff, but I think I love when people have fun backgrounds.
are you a techie?
I am not, but my friends are. So I hear their jargons and I listen to a lot of podcasts about technology and stuff. So
Once I had a friend.
Right. That's the end of the sentence.
I once had a friend.
I have Cunningham's emblem up because my son goes to Cunningham. So
Did
it's
not.
Cunningham.
What's Cunningham? Is that a school?
Yeah, it's Cunningham Elementary School. It's part of Austin ISD. And I don't know if I step out, you can see the background a little better. They're a very environmentally oriented school.
Cute.
So, yeah, one of the things that attracted us to that school was that they have a garden. So the kids work compost, they work the garden, and now they actually have a grant from Emerald Lagasse to build a kitchen, which is, I think, 99% complete. So they're actually going to be working food to table through that kitchen.
Shut up! That's so cool.
It's a very cool scene, and you know, it's a curriculum that's sort of centered around sustainability. Probably after COVID, I guess.
Yeah, but set up to be very forward thinking. That's cool.
And he was there last year for pre-K4, so he's already familiar with all of that.
Nice.
Yeah, and we garden here at the house.
Yeah. Our then roommate, we gave her one of the plumerias that you gave us, and she did not take very good care of it. So the rest of them are looking beautiful, but this one has like little sad little leaves, like they're all black and like not cute. Do you know what that is, or how I can fix it?
Actually, I'd like to say I know more, but I really don't, and I don't ever judge whatever happens with any plants because I got some that have small leaves, and you know, it's just sort of what turns out. But certainly, if it dies and you can see me and I can get you another one. In the meantime, they are not really cold tolerant. So if it gets below 45, you might want to either secure them or bring them in.
They're all inside already.
I've heard some people actually will take them and just uproot them and put them in the closet for the winter.
Yep. So. We have the room that my roommate moved out from is just filled with plants right now, and it's really lovely. It's a good place to that's where I do my morning workouts, and Ron does his yoga, and just in there with the plants and vibing. And
yeah, very cool.
We also got an orange tree from HEB, and evidently it has to live inside for at least the first 4 years.
Whoa.
It can't ever freeze, or it'll die instantly, so don't. And I was like, that makes sense with where you find orange trees more naturally.
Just live inside when it freezes, but not all the time.
I don't know. I'm not opposed to it.
Blake just joined us. Blake, how you doing, bud?
Hey, JR. Doing well.
Hello, Blake.
Just getting Zoom booted back up. So.
Okay, is that a virtual background, or do you live in a different neighborhood?
No, it's a virtual background.
Very cool.
Oh, Shirley, I sent it. Okay.
What's going on, David? Hey, Cole.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going
wonderful.
I'll put myself on mute for a second and talk to Shirley for.
The last time we had a meeting, Shirley was on 2 different devices at the same time. We had her.
That can be difficult.
Well, she wanted to make sure one of them worked, I think.
That makes sense.
Then it's like you got to mute one, unmute the other, avoid the echo.
Right.
Mhm.
Can be a nightmare. Especially if you, like, I've got a guy I work with who always he calls in to every Zoom meeting, and then it's like he's on the dial-in but also logged in, and then
Right. Well, Blake, I live on Swanson, right next to the pond, the southwest corner of the subdivision. Where are you at?
nice. I'm on Big and Circle. I'm like, if you were at the park, across and like 3 houses down towards one of the cul-de-sacs.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What about you, Cole?
I'm on the Swanson Cove cul-de-sac, the corner of Swanson and Swanson.
Oh, Swanson and Swanson.
Mm-hmm. Which makes my husband's name is Ron, and he does act a bit like Nick Offerman. So it's our friends always remember where to find us now. They're like, oh yeah, no, this is.
You're the ones with like the big wood shop.
Yes.
That's a good skill though. If he can do any of that, I'm not good at any of those things.
I tend to do more of it than he does, but he's gotten really good at like at plumbing, and I already knew like a bunch of electrical shit, and then I do a lot of wood art, and then we're renovating our house ourselves, so we've just gotten good at all sorts of things that we never thought would come up.
Yeah, I know how that is. You're like, finally get a house, and it's just like every project you want to do or try to do, and sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it's just like, I'm in over my head.
Yeah. All of the YouTubing, the 20 trips to Home Depot or Lowe's, depending. Going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Learn to be much more forgiving.
That's how the cat learned how to swim, and just threw it in the pool.
Okay, guys, we got Shirley. Shirley's there. Shirley, you there?
I'm here.
Hey, Shirley.
Does anybody know Joan? Joan, ELPC is all I have. I'm trying to get, I sent her information. I hadn't heard back from her. She's the only one I hadn't heard from.
I don't know, John.
Well, regardless, let's go ahead and have this. I'm just, be advised, guys, I'm just recording this. So if Joan misses it, she can see it that way, and everybody feels that they're not missing anything, or nobody meetings without them. And just for, you know what I mean? Just for.
It's reassuring seeing the recording light on and red and blinking. I'm like, okay, so it is obvious if we're being recorded. I like that.
Yes.
Hasn't come up yet.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for wanting to be on the board of directors. Bless your heart, one of you. It's not that bad. It can be fun. It can be fun. So here's the deal. I wanted to have this quick meeting, just to we're in a new uncharted territory, if you will. COVID has created new things, so we're going to have to be innovative. Historically, what we do is we have a meeting in our park, and we have to have X amount of people, or X amount of people in the households represented. So we get there, the candidates get introduced, the candidates go, my name is so-and-so, I'm running, and this is why I'm running, and this is who I am. And then people have questions for them. They answer those questions, and it's the next candidate, and you kind of go either in an order, or you just try to draw to see who goes first. At the end of that, and at the end of everybody's questions and everything, then we go ahead and vote. As we vote, if there's more than one candidate for one slot, sometimes we do it differently. We're just gonna have to figure out how we want to do it. Sometimes it's candidates running for a certain slot, or if there's 2 openings, we've gone by plurality, and the 2 top vote getters get those particular slots. So it's gone both ways. I'm not saying I'm fond of one or another. Plurality seems to make it a little bit easier, as opposed to having to divide up and go into a situation. But with 5 candidates, that means that one of the slots would have a 3-way race, and another slot would have a 2-way race. So I just wanted to bounce that off of you. I'm thinking, or my recommendation is to go with plurality. So the top 2 vote getters would take the slots. How does that sound to you guys?
That sounds fair.
Right with me.
Makes
Okay.
sense.
And that's the purpose of this, because everybody has a different opinion. I want to make sure that candidates who are actually running are okay with it, because once we announce it, there's going to be some people that go, "Oh, you should have done it this way. You should have done it that way. Should have, could have, would." You know what? Everybody was in agreement going in, so we're good with that.
Yeah. Has there been a move to single-member districts yet in this neighborhood?
We're looking at that, and some of you people on the west side want to exclude yourself, thinking you're all that, and
Well,
headers are not quite there yet, but we'll get into that. We'll get into
Does
that.
all that come from the apartment complex next door? Is that what it says?
Yeah. We're gonna put that in our ETJ and annex it later on.
Right.
Just to make a quorum. So here, let me just give you my thinking on this. Is that at one point, and I'm taking the lead on this one. Have experience doing this too, and the current serving president. Now, we just completed one of these for the city of Buda. We did an entire candidates forum, town hall meeting for the city of Buda. We did it through a Zoom format. We ran the back end, but that was a little more extensive, where we had people coming up, split screens, the whole thing. We don't need to get that fancy. I mean, we can, but we don't need to. So one thought in the beginning was have each candidate, we would individually film everybody for about a 3-minute segment and then put them together, montage back to back so people could see that. But then I said, well, this would probably be easier. So the idea here is have like a town hall meeting where we have a date that we notify everybody in the community you can watch. You can come in and you can watch. So each candidate would have X amount of time. I'm thinking up to 3 minutes. So up to 3 minutes. So Blake, you can go, my name's Blake. I've been a resident of this neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. This is why I'm running. This is what I'm thinking. Just do your pitch, your background, your pitch, whatever you like. You can take up to 3 minutes. You don't have to use the 3 minutes. Then after that, all right, next person. Or we can go into Q&A for you. The next person until we go through all 5. Then after that, if there's any additional Q&A, then we go, okay, folks, these are going to be your candidates. We've recorded this. We're going to put it up on we'll YouTube it. We'll put it up on the website. We'll make it available to you if you want to review this. Or if anybody didn't have a chance to watch it, they can review it before they can. The idea is to promote you guys as much as possible, so as many of our residents see who you are before they cast a vote. Because other than that, now you're going to have like a one-sheeter, if I'm not mistaken, in the packet about you. But as you know as well as I do, it's very difficult to tell about a person just from paper. So I want to kind of see you, get to know you a little bit, and that's what we want to do, is that opportunity to try to grow as closely as possible as the opportunity in a live meeting. In live meetings, historically, it's in our bylaws that we could account for proxy votes. We're not going to be doing that this time. No proxy votes are going to be allowed. And let me not to get ahead of myself, but everybody know what a proxy vote is?
Yes.
You clear?
No,
Yes or no?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay. Blake, a proxy vote is where a resident who could not make the meeting gives their proxy to somebody else to vote on their behalf. And we've done that in the past, and because the rules state that we have to have at least 10% of our neighborhood residents present for there to be a legal meeting. So 10% out of 349 households we have. Each household will get 1 vote. So if you have a couple, it's not 2, or if you have a 5, it's not 5. Each household gets a vote. And
what did I have all these kids for then?
Well, out and invested in a television,
Right. No,
Watch Johnny Carson.
I don't mean to interrupt, but there are times when I'm missing words out of your sentences, and I'm not sure if that's true about our other attendees or if it's just me. But every now and then there will be a word or two missing out of your sentence. I just want to alert you to that.
Thank you very much. And it could be, you might want to tune your hearing aid a little bit, David, but I'll go ahead and speak a little bit louder.
No, I've had the same problem, JR, and it's not your loudness, it's just it's breaking up a little bit.
Okay,
Same.
just the connection. All right.
Blocks.
Bad Wi-Fi. I should go with get rid of my Cricket carrier. Go with somebody. So so in the past, we're going to have a quorum present. So that means a representative from each household can be 10%, and this is not necessarily renters, but the household owners. So with Zoom, we're anticipating more people will actually come out for it. So you as candidates, you could easily go out and encourage your neighbors. Hey, I'm running. Appreciate your vote. You might want to get on the call to see this, but they're going to be receiving ballots through the mail and going to have a period of time to return those ballots. So they can either mail it in. I think they can take a picture of their ballot and photo, send it in via photo or via email. So like 2 or 3 different forms that people can actually vote. We've done this because after watching what's happening in Georgia and Pennsylvania, we figured let's go ahead and make it as easy as possible for people to vote. So that's what we're going to do in hopes that we have more community participation. So once the vote is cast by the deadline, the management company with some oversight will be counting the poll, be counting the elections, and then we're going to post the results. So that is about the simplest form I can put it. I wanted to share this with you so there's no surprises and see if you had any other thoughts. But basically, we're going to have to pick a date sometime early next week, probably a Tuesday. I suggest no later than Wednesday, because if they go out on Friday, then people will probably start getting their mail Monday or Tuesday. So this gives us an opportunity for people to get their ballot and either watch the night of that we do this, or if they miss it, we'll YouTube it, put it out there, send them another email electronically, put the link in there so they can go back and watch it and make their decision from there. Does that sound fair and equitable to everybody?
Yes.
Yep.
Any questions?
No.
Yeah, yes, I have a question. When do we proposing this forum to take place, or
Well, I'm going to recommend
town hall meeting?
town hall meeting. I'm going to recommend either Tuesday or Wednesday. Anything past that, people have already had their ballots, and we want to get it out there as quickly as possible, because there is a timeline, and we want to get you guys out in front of everybody as quickly as possible. Now, the advantage is that you as candidates, if the voting goes on, once the voting starts, I mean, there's nothing to preclude you from encouraging your neighbors. Hey, have you voted yet? Reminding them. It's not required that a person watch or be at the town hall meeting to vote. They can vote and not watch anything. But at the same time, we want to make sure that for those that are interested in who the new incoming board members may be, that they have a chance to meet them and get to know them a little bit.
I have a question.
Yes, Shirley.
The ballots that are going to go out, will they have our address on there? I think that would be important, because I may have a neighbor next door that, that is running and I don't even know their name, So if I
Check
knew
on
their,
that. I don't believe that the person's address is on there, but usually, what we've done in the past, Shirley, is that when you introduce yourself, like, back when I go, I'm J.R. Gonzalez. I live over in Shant. I've lived in the neighborhood for X amount of time. I don't think it's going to be on the ballot because there is a kind of a privacy issue when we send stuff out, because some residents just don't want their information on there. But I will double check that. But to answer your question, I know the ballots have already been printed because we dropped in tomorrow morning. I don't think your individual addresses are on there.
Okay.
So here's a question I have for you guys. After you speak, or after you do your up to 3 minutes, and you will be on a timer. So after your 3 minutes, would you like to take questions individually after that, or where people have questions for everybody as a whole and kind of go on there and they can address the question to an individual candidate or to all the candidates? Any
I feel like
thoughts or preference?
I'm thinking to all the, excuse me, Right. I think to all the candidates, because if somebody asks a question say to Cole, and she may not know the answer directly, then, it might put her on the defensive or on, not feeling right about it. Whereas if they ask the general question, one of us probably could answer it.
Let's just quick correction. It's they, them, theirs, not she, her. And I don't know. I like the thought of asking individual candidates, because if everybody tries to answer questions at once, then it's going to be like who raised their hand, who put like an indicator up of who wants to answer which question. Because like if we all want to answer the question,
And some people may have. Here's the advantage and disadvantage. Shirley, I see your point, but these folks are competing against each other. So if somebody doesn't know it, it's kind of good to know whether they know it or not. But and the purpose is not to put people on the spot or make them look bad, but to ask questions about their thoughts about the neighborhood. So if we were to do it the traditional way, it would be, Blake, you go first. Let's say in a draw, as we draw straws to see who goes in what order. You do your little 3-minute bit. Anybody have any questions for Blake? People may ask. Now, some people may ask the same question of each candidate, or some, David gets real excited about certain things, and some people may ask David a question that they may not ask Shirley. So then that's her choice. But at least everybody has an opportunity, and then again, recorded and posted. Now, here's the other line of thinking, because I'm not sure how many people will actually be on the call. Do we set it up where the only people on the screen are the actual candidates and the moderator, which would be myself, and allow people to type in questions, or do we go with the screen with all these small individual faces out there that it's kind of like, okay, who's talking, who's going what, and where they actually ask the question? I kind of have my preference, but I wanted to bounce that off of you guys to see what your thoughts were.
I feel like the anonymity that the question askers can have sounds really cool, because like not everyone wants to like say things out loud, maybe, or I don't know. I like that. I like them. I like just the candidates.
Yeah, I think if you limit it to chat, then it speeds things up versus like this person was on mute or the connection didn't work, or you don't have to deal with all that, and it simplifies.
Or somebody not paying attention.
The route. Yeah, it's like the route.
Not paying attention, asking the same question that's already been answered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shirley, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, on my particular tablet that I'm trying to see things, I can't ever see all the people. So I wouldn't like that, because I wouldn't be able to see them anyway. So.
Okay. Well, this would be, the way we'd set it up is that you'd be all on the screen like you are now. And then the questions would come in. I'd be able to see the questions, and then just ask the questions of you. Like, we have a question from so and so. We have a question from this. The person wants to identify themselves. That's fine. We don't have to use last names. I have a question from Paul. Paul's asking, David, if you were to be reelected to the board, blah blah blah. Sure, you're that. Just go through that. So we can actually have a person monitoring the questions. They get monitored where it's in orderly fashion and it's smooth, and we don't have a bunch of people trying to talk over each other, or the technical things about the muting and who's talking and who's not, or who may, whether purposefully or inadvertently, ask an inappropriate question. We're not going to try to thwart or stymie any effort. We don't want to, keep anybody from asking a valid question. We don't want to prevent, inappropriate questions from being asked, or somebody just trying to be.
Are we planning to do like a time limit on the Q&A part?
Yeah, we don't want to get too long. So, like, guys, we each have time for X amount of questions. Let's do this. We're going to try to make that. The question part is important, because we want people to feel that they've fully vetted their concerns and see what their questions are. But it's not going to go on and on and on. It's kind of like, okay, we'll take the next 5 minutes for Q&A for this candidate. After a period of time, if there's no other questions or anything new that hasn't been answered, we'll move to the next one. And then that way everybody gets a fair shake. And then I'm thinking when we can do it right before the meeting, we can have like, I can get a hat or a draw and then just kind of draw the names blindly of who goes in what order. That way we have an order of who's speaking. Does that sound fair to everybody?
Very fair.
Shirley, does that sound good to you?
Sounds good.
Okay, I got thumbs up over here. I can't see your smiling face over there, so.
Okay, so I would like to, I'd like to make a couple of observations, particularly on what they said. There's been times when people don't ask questions anonymously when we meet in person. So you stand up in front of the community and you ask your question. Everybody knows who's asking and who's answering. So I prefer the questioners identify themselves. That's just my preference. But there, just as an example, like when I was, we were having an election last year and I asked every candidate the same question because it's been my hope at some point we had a water fountain in our park at one point and the previous board took it out and I'd like to get it reinstated. So I asked that same question to every candidate. What is your position on getting a water fountain in the park? So it may be smooth if the questioner identifies this question is for everybody or if this question is for one person. So rather than that same person asking the question of every single candidate after every single candidate finishes, maybe we could say 3 minutes for the candidate, 2 minutes for Q&A, and then some 5-minute or 10-minute end of the meeting session where questions that were addressed to one candidate or for all candidates could be addressed.
To your point, David, and I think it's a good point. When the question is written, I'll see the person who's asking the question by their name, by the login. So we can say the next question we have is from Sally. Sally asks. I mean,
right. The only problem with that is some people's logins names are not necessarily disclosing who they are. I'm okay. I'm just bringing that up as a point to make or something to think about. But I'm okay if the group is prefers to do it differently.
And what we can
I'm
do
just
is
gonna go ahead.
No, if they have some obscure name like
Ants in my pants.
Yeah, Ants in my pants 357.
Cat lover 99.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like what we can say. If you ask a question, identify yourself at the beginning of the question. Use your real name.
Right. Okay.
We can do that. And then two, once I ask the question, what we'll look at is time the response. In other words, it's not going to be a whole elaborate thing. It's kind of like on the debates you see on television. Blake, questions asked, you have 1 minute to answer this question, or you have 30 seconds. And it's kind of like boom, boom, boom to try to get through as many questions as possible, which would keep somebody like our friend David here on the line that is very loquacious. And you get a simple thing. You ask David what time it is. He wants to tell you how to make a watch, but that's okay because
Yeah, I'm here for that.
You're what?
I'm here for that. You can teach me how to make a watch.
So we'll do that as well. So there's like a 3-minute presentation. There's X amount of time for Q&A, and we're probably going to limit the answers. You guys think 30 seconds is enough, or need a little bit longer? I mean, 30 seconds. You think about it. It is kind of a long time, but it's not.
Well, if you try to hold a plank for 30 seconds, it feels like 20 minutes. So I think 30 seconds is good.
Yeah, hopefully it's not so in depth that 30 seconds is like, I'll never answer this question in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just give you an idea. Shirley, ask me a question.
JR, how long have you been president of the HOA?
Shirley, there's days like it seems like yesterday, then there's other days that seems like it's been forever. I think I've been president of the HOA for 2 years. 2 years. Pauline, how long have I been president? 2 years. I've been president of 2 years, and I've served on the board for a year prior to that. And I've actually lived in the neighborhood when it first started. So I moved here in 1999, I believe. So I hope that answers 96. So I hope that answers your question. Boom. That was 30 seconds.
Okay.
So that whole little
Done and done.
Okay. So you think 30 seconds is good, guys? And so after your, then at the very end, after everybody goes through it, we'll go one more time, each candidate. Cole, you got 1 minute for any closing comments. David, you got 1 minute for any closing comments. Shirley, the whole bit. So that way, you have one more opportunity to present your case based on the questions or what you heard or may have forgotten to do. Okay? That sound fair to everybody?
Yep.
Sounds good to me. Yes.
Now, I'll try to reach out to Joan and figure out, talk to her. And but what day would be preferable to you? I mean, we're looking at Tuesday or Wednesday, and I tell you, I'm leaning towards Wednesday because it just gives us that much more time to market and let everybody know. But then I know some people have issues on Wednesdays. Well, somebody's gonna have an issue on every given night.
What time are you thinking, Ish?
Well, based on our board meetings, we usually have them start about 6:30, but then some people say that's still kind of early because of traffic and everything. So we're looking at 7 o'clock. Do 7 o'clock. We can start. I mean, if you all agree, we can start marketing it tomorrow for a 7 o'clock town hall, a Park Ridge town hall candidates meeting. Meet the candidates, ask questions, and then that way we make sure that everybody is aware of it.
When were ballots mailed out?
Ballots are going to be mailed out tomorrow.
So presuming that it's a 1 or 2 day turnaround, they'll start receiving them on Monday or Tuesday?
Yes, sir.
Well, Wednesday seems a little early to me for an arrival in the mail for Monday or Tuesday, but I'm okay with either day.
Well, it's either, I mean, we can even push it back Thursday, but I'm thinking, but past that, we don't want people to have already, made decisions and voted and sent it back. We want to get you guys in front of it. I mean, we don't have an early voting period, so it's not a matter of them getting the ballot in. It's a matter of them having an opportunity to meet you guys individually via a Zoom call, so they can make their decision from there. Because
that makes sense.
We have an array of candidates here.
Yeah, I'm okay with either Tuesday or Wednesday as long as it's at 7 and not 6:30 because I'm still feeding the children.
Got it. So 7 o'clock Wednesday, sound good, Shirley?
Yes, sounds good.
Be this Wednesday, the 18th?
Wednesday,
Yes.
the 18th. Better check my own schedule.
Yeah, yesterday was Wednesday the 11th, so
I mean, I've been guilty of that where I end up double booking stuff and I'm going, no. Okay, hang on. Ribbon cutting, monthly meeting, board meeting, yeah. So the day is Wednesday the 18th at 7 p.m. That's 1,900 hours for you military type folks. We'll make it work. Okay, because of rules and everything else, I don't have your phone numbers. Except Cole, I grabbed yours because it was the bottom of what you sent to Stephanie. David, I have yours. Blake, Shirley, I have yours. Blake, if you don't mind, you text me your phone number. Oh, in case if there's anything. Okay, and this is not for me to share with anybody, but just to make sure we're all on the same page. If there needs to be a change or something, I need to contact you on. If you can do that, I'd appreciate it. Do you guys have any questions for me?
just how does Blake text you his phone number? Does he have your phone number?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just gonna ask him
Oh, I'm sorry.
I could get my phone out, but
Maybe the phone number shouldn't be shared on a recorded meeting. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Blake, you responded via email to me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so respond to that. I'm sorry, I get confused with who I text and who I get emails. After a while, it's a blur. So.
All right, so as soon as this is confirmed, I do have signs to put out, or at least a sign to put in the park to announce the town hall meeting. So please let me know, when you confirm with Joni.
Okay, I'll reach out to Joni and keep trying her. and then we'll make the call by tomorrow morning. But I don't anticipate there's going to be an issue.
So we're leaning at Wednesday at 7. That's what we're looking at right now.
That is a strong lean, yes, sir.
Okay.
That's like a Pennsylvania wind lean.
Falling over.
I create myrtles when it rains really hard, and then they lean.
There you go. There you go. Okay, guys. Well, first of all, thank each of you for stepping up and wanting to be a candidate. Whatever the outcome is, I look forward to working with some of you for sure. And if for some reason this doesn't happen, we have committees, we have other things. The whole thing, stay engaged, guys. Stay engaged. This is your neighborhood, your community, and the more people involved, the better. Which takes it off of some of us old war horses like myself that have been around for a while and go, I will gladly accept any help or anybody else's opinion because, it's a community. Shirley, anything from you, ma'am? I can't see your smiling face, so I don't know what you're thinking.
Everything sounds good.
Okay.
I've got it on my calendar already.
Super. And Shirley, will you be able to come in visually on that day?
I don't know how to do it on this thing. I'm not very technical, so.
Are you working from a pad or what are you working from?
It's a pad.
Okay.
It's a tablet. It's a tablet.
A tablet.
Yeah.
If you need some help, Shirley, I'll be more than happy to go over and take a look at what you have, and we'll figure out if we can get you, or we can maybe lend you a computer, or if you have an iPhone. Do you have an iPhone? What kind of phone do you have?
I just today got a new Samsung phone, so maybe I can try that.
Yeah, because you can actually come in on your smartphone as well. Turn the camera.
Let me see if I can even do that now.
I gotta go.
Shirley, JR is a tech expert, so you can always lean on him. He's right around the corner, and he can help you with that.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, David. I cannot express in words how much I appreciate that vote of confidence.
Well, I just know you can control the technology a lot better, so
For an old guy, yeah, I kind of know technology a little bit, but we won't go there. Okay, guys. Well, I wanted to keep it short. I didn't want to occupy too much of your time. Thank you so very much on very short notice. Shirley, play with your phone, because unless you ended up getting something really cheap, I'm sure it'll do everything that you need and more.
Well, I'm trying to get on it now, so we'll see if I get on.
Well, you know what, Shirley? I tell you what, I'll let these others get off, and I'll stop the recording, and I'll stay on this line so you can maybe try to play with your phone and come in.
I can see you on my phone. Yeah, I can see you on my phone.
Okay, now hit your camera.
I can see participants listed, so this will be better on my phone, I think.
All right, and you should have a little thing on the screen. There ought to be something where you can turn your camera on.
Okay, I'll work on that.
Should be towards the bottom left, typically, of
Look at the bottom
the screen.
left.
You see other people on.
Not on your phone.
There's like the mute and video.
Okay.
it'll say stop video or start video.
Okay, I'll look into that. I'm already hit something else for now.
Well, stay on with JR, because it's really better if you're in a meeting to test it.
Okay, stay on with JR. Okay.
Like I said, David, I don't have the words to express my gratitude for your suggestions.
And if not, Shirley, I'll be happy to help you. I actually, as a former educator of the COVID era, I actually have a lot of Zoom experience. So.
Okay.
Shirley, you and I stay on. I'm giving David a hard time. Well, I know we took you away from something. Thank you very much, Blake. Thank you very much.
Thanks, JR.
Blake,
See
Shirley.
y'all later.
Thank
If
you.
anybody knows anyone who's officiated a wedding before and wants to email or text me some hot tips, I could use them. It's my first one. It's just me and the two grooms, and that's it. So it's very COVID. And it's gonna be outside, very COVID safe. But I'm nervous as all get out. So
You're probably more nervous than the two grooms, but good luck.
I definitely
I
am.
was going to say, best of luck.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever you do, don't take your cues from Joey on Friends when he had to officiate a wedding. Okay.
That's a good bar. I'm gonna remind them of that when I talk to them right now. All right. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Shirley, I'm staying with you, Shirley. I'm right here.
Okay.
Thank you, JR.
Thank you, guys.
Hi. All right. Now I see it says join audio. You there?
right? I already have your audio.
Start video.